Well, hello everyone. This is Gladys from Gladys Garden in Heart of a Gypsy. Thanks for stopping by. Today I'd like to share a project that I just created for Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And this is a DT entry or designing team entry. And I know I just put, I think it was yesterday, that I did my last designing entry for the company, which is Ephemera's Vintage Garden. This month has gone really fast for me in so many different ways. I'm sure a lot of you have seen some of the posts that I've created on Facebook. Thank God we finalized the adoption of our 3 babies, and we're done. So, no more monitoring, none of that stuff. It's old. We're done with all the paperwork, and let me tell you, it was paperwork. But I cannot take the credit for that because my beautiful husband is the one that has done all the paperwork, and he's been so good with it, and so yeah, it's been not rough, just busy, very busy this month. But I'm trying really hard to get my head back on my body, connected back to my body, so I can get back to my routine. I don't like to be this late with my designing team entries, but unfortunately sometimes life gets in the way. But in this occasion it was I think there's a good reason in this case. Okay, so now let's get back to the project that I want to share with you. I'm sure a lot of you have seen these little clocks that I do believe is Ranger. And I'm not even sure because I've never bought one, but I think it's Ranger because I know Tim Holtz kind of started the whole thing on it, and they will sell you, the round tin that has, all the perforated holes. Now, I never bought one. I see them in the store, and they come with this 2 like round half balls that you put them up here, or not like knobs, to create the alarm look on the kind of a vintage look clock. Well, I haven't bought any, and I don't think I am going to. Not that I am not a supporter of products, because obviously I'm kind of in the same business, but I've kind of started a different route in my life. Let's try to utilize what we have. And I think all of us, and I can say this very freely, most of us have a lot of things at home that we have bought over the years. And if you're like me, I'm a paper hoarder, big time. And I am a product, craft products hoarder, and I have issues with that. So I'm kind of in this starting this new kind of routine in my life to say, let's use what we have at home. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to need new things. I do. I mean, I keep buying tape, and I keep buying all glue and all this other things that would make your product complete. But let's not hoard as much as I've been doing. I know I've been doing a lot of that. And it's time to get those papers and get those products or embellishments, flowers, anything that we have bought in the past, and that, they're just so precious to us that we don't even want to use them. I mean, what's the point of that? So that's why I'm in this mode right now. And let me tell you, I need to take advantage of that because, number one, recycling is very good. Let's not use new resources. Let's use what we have and turn it into something else. That's why I love the word altered, because that just means that you refurbished something that was used for a different purpose, but now it's still going to serve you in a different mode, but it's still good. And it's still going to provide you with some sort of satisfaction, not only for you, but perhaps other people that have seen it. So I love that. So because I am coming to that, I want to talk to you. I created my own little clock. It's not that little. I use a tin that is a 16 ounces tin, because I used to own a store years ago. I'm also an herbalist and also an aromatherapist, and I used to have I'm a massage therapist. I don't have a license for that. I let it go because, you know, I just can't do it anymore. But I used to, I am a massage therapist. So I went to school. That's what I graduated from. And so I used to have a store that kind of provided, I had a little clinic, and then I had kind of a natural healing store, whatever you want to call that. I sold some herbs and I sold essential oils and other things. Well, among the things that you would use for that industry, it was bottles, glass bottles, and I'm talking about the cute, nice bottles. So all those things are going to be coming up in my Etsy, and then also some of my other containers that we would use for that industry. Well, and among this, it was this one. Okay, this is a 16 ounce, and we used this ones for they were not for bath salts, but we used to do they were like bath teas. We used to put bags and here there were sealed bags with a mixture of herbs and salts and other things, aroma, kind of in the aromatherapy field, and you just put that in your bath, and you know, it creates this hot tea that is actually very good for you, aroma wise, and also the herbs provide some healing for you. So therefore I ended up with a huge box of these ones because we kind of had to close abruptly due to some health situations and other, you know, issues. But anyway, so I have this ones, and I thought, you know, and you know, if I can go online and try to buy them retail wise, they're very expensive, and I just don't see the reason for them to be. So I thought, let me use what I have. So this is what I created with this tin. Okay, so this tin opens up this way. So I think this is even deeper than the one they have. Now I'm not even sure if they have a lid or not for it, but mine does, obviously. So let me tell you what I did with it. I used the Vintaj, let's see, patina paints. I used all those, and I used different ones to come up with these colors. And then after I done the patina inside and out, I used, I think it was archival coffee color, and then I kind of sponged it everywhere, and it created this nice old, you know, rusted, used, banged look into the tin, and I really liked it. Well, obviously we didn't stop there. I needed to create the two illusion big old knobs that you would have in vintage, you know, stopwatch or alarm clock. They were like little bells that were up here, I think they were. Well, I didn't want to make those, so I said, you know, I think those I think these are Tim Holtz little knobs. I said, let me just put those in there, and I perforated some holes in here, and I put those two in there, and in the middle I put that, you know, that key, that winding key from Tim Holtz. This is the large one. He has two sizes. This is the large, and this is the small. So the large I put it on top because, you know, this gives the illusion of the winding clock. And in the bottom I use those as feet. Okay, and I'm not sure if they're big enough to hold this whole thing, but it doesn't really matter at this point because the way I would display it, for me, it wouldn't, you know, make any difference. So once I've told you what I've done, you know, to the actual tin, after that, obviously I used Ephemera's Vintage Garden paperwork, and the one I'm still utilizing within inside my tin, and then on the outside is the Vintage Queen Bee, which is the one I just used for my last tutorial, which is, well, it was my Posh organizer book. So that's the one I'm using, plus other ephemera that I already, you know, had before. So I am calling this little tin, after all this talk, I'm calling Time Flies. And basically it's about making sure that we record those special moments in our lives, and I think if we're in this industry, I think we're doing pretty well with that. So let me open it up, and I just open it here. It's still on the wet, you know, mode, so it wants to be rebellious. But okay, so the lid is right there, and what I did, I put this clock in there in the background, and I did some glossy accents with crackle accent too, to create that kind of it's kind of a different look. You've seen that in some of my products. And then I used the Spellbinders let's see, gear die, and I cut this one, and I had put aluminum tape over chipboard, thin chipboard, and then obviously I did the die cutting with that. And then I put Time Flies in there. I used some of Tim Holtz gears in there. And then in the back, I use, this is the other one, I use one of Debbie Ann is the owner of Ephemera's Vintage Garden. She just released a freebie, and it's called Time Flies, and it has all these clocks with a moth or a butterfly on it, with crowns and glass, like old vintage glasses over clocks. Aren't they amazing? I think they're just gorgeous. I love them, love them. So that's what I've used, besides using that Queen Bee paper collection that she's got for a kit, a journaling kit. And this is just one. I think there's about 7 or 8 big pages like this within that kit, besides all the other embellishments that come with it. So it's a gorgeous collection. And you've heard me talk about it. You know, it really, I am very partial to it. I love it. So I put that in the back, and this little hands to the clock, they are movable. So let me put that aside, and inside we have a little mini album, but I want to show you on the inside part. I did the same thing as I did on the outside with a Vintaj patina paints, and then I started putting some of those embellishments that she's got over, you know, in her in this vintage Queen Bee kit collection, because they're very versatile. I mean even if, just because it says journaling kit, it doesn't mean you have to make a book out of it. There's just so many ways, you know. Use it as a regular designing paper that you can use it for anything. You could use them for tags, accenting other things, other projects. So it's just a wonderful collection. And as you can tell, I embellished all around, oops, sorry, my clock. Those are the tickets that come with that collection. I think they're gorgeous. Okay, so let me put back my lid on my, and I'm supposed to put it the right way, right? Okay, so it's right there, and if I want to stand it up, it's excuse me. I don't know why it's not sitting, but anyways, it's supposed to sit this, there it is. No? I don't know why it's not sitting now, but it was sitting before. Anyhow, I might have something underneath my sheet here, my cloth. But anyways, that's the way it sits. But in my where I'm going to put this, it's we have like in our dining room, we have a little corner where I have my wine bar, and I have like a little mirror there and a little table. That's where this is going to be. So I'm going to put that right next to it, and it just stands. I don't know why it's not standing now, but it's been standing this whole time. Anyhow, so like I said, I have something behind down here is preventing it. But it just sits this way, in other words. And, or maybe it's because I took my mini album. But my mini album is a telescope mini album. And there's many, you know, online that you can watch. So this is what it does. It just expands. And if I just want to close it, then I start wrapping very simply. Oops, sorry. Nothing to it. Keep wrapping, or you can go either way, because remember, we're using just all brads, you know, to hold them together, so they just kind of go everywhere. And what I have done, I put pictures of, my family, pictures or of moments that have matter, obviously, to me, of my kids, and things that were fun, or times that were fun. And that's what I have done in there. And then I had keep using the word time flies. Again, this is just my reminding myself of, recording as much as you can of your life, because before you know it, pretty much it's gone. We all know that. We grow up and we see our parents with us and we think that's the way it's always going to be. So it's important, really, to record those precious moments, because I think even when we're gone, our future generations will still enjoy that. And that's one of the reasons why. So I want to very much thank you for you coming over and watching my channel for this project. So again, this is my designing team entry for Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and I know I just released my Posh organizer, but like I told you before, I was running a little late, so I want to get this in before the month is over, so I can try to be responsible with my duties. Life had other plans for me this month, but we got through it and we'll just get back on the ball. So thank you everyone for being so supportive and always coming over and watching, and first and foremost for leaving all your wonderful comments, and they're very encouraging to me. So every time somebody leaves something so encouraging, it just makes me want to, even if I read it at 3 o'clock in the morning, I want to get up at that moment and make another video, because I used to be that person too. Many years ago when we weren't doing this and I was introduced to YouTube, yes, I very much appreciated who took the time out of their life and busy schedule to make a video. Not about being the best, no, not at all. It's about sharing what you know, because maybe what you know is what somebody else does not know yet, or maybe they even have a better idea, and at that moment that person will come back to you and says, it's great what you've done and I've learned it this way, maybe there's something that can work for you. So this is why YouTube is all about. It's about sharing and encouraging each other. So thank you so very much for stopping by today, and I sure hope you like my little tutorial on my homemade little watch. So now I'm not saying not to go buy it, because obviously it's not everybody's going to be like me that have this ones laying around in their area. But now that you have an idea, or maybe I inspired to do something different, obviously arrange your desk, carry them. But my decision was to utilize as much of the things that I have at home and come up with something that is pleasing to the eyes, to others, but for me too. So thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll talk to you later, okay? Bye-bye.